The alien queen, ruler of a vast empire, stands before a captured human man. He is calm, too calm. What shocks everyone is his armor. It is ancient alien war armor, believed to be lost forever. This armor was created by a dead alien god race. No one alive should know how to fix it. The queen takes one step closer, then steps back. The armor is not broken. It is repaired. Perfectly repaired. Her guards panic. Her scientists whisper in fear. The queen asks a single question. Who repaired this armor? The human does not answer. He only looks at her. The armor once belonged to the first destroyer, a being who almost wiped out the galaxy. The alien empires united long ago to destroy it. After the war, the armor was shattered. The knowledge to repair it was erased. Even thinking about rebuilding it was forbidden. Yet here it stands. Whole. Active. Scanners show impossible results. The armor responds to human biology. It adjusts itself to the man's breathing and heart rate. The queen realizes something terrifying. The armor was not just repaired. It was improved. She orders the human to speak. He finally says, "It broke, I fixed it." The room falls silent. Welcome to my channel Starlight Sci-Fi Stories. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. The throne chamber of the Cathar Empire had never been this silent. Not during wars. Not during executions. Not even during the fall of stars. Yet now, every sound seemed afraid to exist. At the center of the vast chamber stood a single human man. He was not chained. He was not kneeling. He was not begging. He stood calmly, his hands relaxed at his sides, his head raised, his eyes steady. Around him, dozens of alien guards held weapons that could tear cities apart. Their claws tightened. Their breathing was heavy. Some of them trembled. Not because of the human, but because of what he was wearing. The armor. It covered the human's body like a second skin, dark metal layered with strange lines that glowed softly, like a slow heartbeat. The design was old, ancient, older than the empire itself. Older than history. At the far end of the chamber, seated upon a floating throne of living crystal, the alien queen watched him. Queen Zalith, ruler of 7,000 systems, breaker of worlds, the one who had never stepped back from anything in her long life. Until now. As the human lifted his head slightly, the light from the chamber touched the armor fully. And Queen Zalith felt it. A cold weight pressed against her chest. Her throne shifted back without her command. One step. The entire chamber noticed. A whisper of fear moved through the guards. The queen's eyes narrowed, locked on the armor. That armor should not exist. Long ago, before empires, before laws, before even her kind learned to write their own history, there had been a war that almost ended everything. A war against something they called the first destroyer. It was not a species. It was not a god. It was something in between. And that armor had been its skin. The queen's voice finally broke the silence. Low, controlled, dangerous. Scan it again. Alien scientists at the side of the chamber moved in panic. Their devices hummed, beams of light sweeping over the human and his armor. Numbers appeared, then vanished, symbols twisted into errors. One scientist swallowed hard. "My queen, the readings are stable." The queen's claws tightened against her throne. "That armor was destroyed," she said. "I watched it break apart in the void." The scientist's voice shook. "Yes, my queen, it was shattered, its core was erased. The knowledge to rebuild it was forbidden." Her gaze returned to the human. Yet here it stands. Whole. Alive. The armor pulsed once, slow, steady, like it was breathing. The Queen stood. The sound echoed like thunder. She descended from her throne and walked forward, each step measured. Guards instinctively moved with her, weapons raised higher, fingers ready to fire. She stopped a short distance from the human, close enough to see the small details. The armor was not merely repaired. It was refined. The joints moved smoothly. The surface showed no cracks. The energy lines followed new paths, more efficient, more elegant. Someone had not just fixed it. Someone had understood it. Queen Zalith spoke again. "Human." The man met her eyes without hesitation. "You stand in the heart of my empire," she said, wearing a relic that caused the deaths of billions. He did not answer. "Speak," she commanded. Still nothing. Her eyes flicked to the armor again, then back to his face. Her voice sharpened. "Who repaired this armor?" For a long moment, the human said nothing. The chamber seemed to lean closer, as if the walls themselves were listening. Then the human spoke. His voice was calm, simple, almost casual. "It was broken," he said, "so I fixed it." The words hit the chamber harder than any explosion. Several guards stepped back. One scientist dropped his device. The Queen stared at him, disbelief and anger mixing into something far more dangerous. "You expect me to believe," she said slowly, "that a human-repaired technology even my people fear to study?" The human tilted his head slightly. "No," he said, "I expect you to believe that we don't like leaving things broken." Her eyes narrowed. "Where did you find it?" The human looked down for the first time. "Floating," he said, "cold, forgotten." The Queen felt something twist inside her. Forgotten. That was true. After the ancient war, every empire agreed on one thing. The armor would never be rebuilt. The schematics were destroyed. The creators were gone. Even speaking its name was considered dangerous. They believed ignorance was safety. The human lifted his eyes again. "We didn't know it was forbidden," he continued. "We only knew it was damaged." A murmur spread through the chamber. One of the generals stepped forward. "My queen," the general hissed, "this is impossible. Humans are a young species, weak, short-lived." The queen raised one claw, silencing him. Her attention never left the human. "You improved it," she said. It was not a question. The human nodded once. "Yes." The Queen felt fear then. Not loud fear. Quiet fear. The kind that crawls slowly into the mind and refuses to leave. "How?" she asked. The human thought for a moment. "We ask questions," he said. "When something doesn't work, we don't smash it, we open it, we listen." The Queen took another step back without realizing it. The armor responded to the movement, its glow shifting slightly, matching the human breathing. That should not happen. The armor was never meant to obey. One of the scientists spoke up, voice trembling. "My queen, the armor is responding to his nervous system." The Queen turned sharply. "That is impossible." The scientist swallowed. "It shouldn't accept him." Yet it does, as if it recognizes him. The Queen looked back at the human. "Did you activate it?" she asked. He shook his head. "No," he said, "it activated itself." The chamber lights flickered. For a brief moment, ancient symbols flashed across the armor's surface, symbols the Queen recognized from forbidden records. Trial marks. Judgment codes. The Queen's breath caught. The armor was not just armor. It was a test. A test no empire ever passed. She straightened, forcing authority back into her voice. "You will tell me everything," she said, "or you will die." The human did not react. Instead, he said something unexpected. Before that, he said, you might want to check your borders. The Queen's eyes flashed. What trick is this? Before the human could answer, alarms screamed through the palace. Red light flooded the chamber. The sound was violent, urgent. A voice echoed from above. My queen, unknown fleet detected at the edge of the system. The generals shouted orders. Guards shifted into combat positions. The queen turned toward the tactical display as it activated in midair. Her blood ran cold. The ships. She recognized their shape. The same sharp angles. The same dark hulls. The same signature that haunted ancient nightmares. The Devourers, she whispered. They were supposed to be gone. Destroyed with the first destroyer. Yet there they were. Returning. The Queen slowly turned back to the human. His armor now glowed brighter. Not aggressively. Not violently. But awake. Like it had been waiting. Waiting for this moment. The Queen felt something she had not felt in centuries. Uncertainty. She asked quietly, almost to herself. Why are they here? The human answered softly. They follow the armor, he said. They always have. The chamber fell silent again. The Queen looked at the human, at the armor, at the approaching fleet. And for the first time in her reign, she wondered if the galaxy had misunderstood humans completely. The armor pulsed once more. The human took a slow breath. And the war that was never meant to return had just arrived. The alarms did not stop. They screamed through the palace, through the city, through the sky itself. Red light flooded every hall of the Cathar capital. War signals echoed from tower to tower. Queen Zalith stood frozen before the floating tactical display. The Devourer fleet was real. Not a ghost. Not a myth. Not a memory. They were back. Dozens of massive ships slid from the darkness of space, their hulls black as dead stars, their weapons already charging. The same enemy that once forced the galaxy to unite in fear had returned without warning. Around the Queen, her generals shouted orders. Raise the planetary shields. Deploy the defense grid. Alert all fleets in nearby systems. Yet beneath the noise, another sound filled the throne chamber. A low hum. The human's armor. It was brighter now, the glowing lines moving faster, like blood through living veins. The metal shifted slightly, adjusting itself, tightening around the human's body. Still, the human did not move. He stood calmly, watching the display. Queen Zalith turned slowly toward him. You knew, she said. The human nodded. They always come back, he replied. They follow what they fear. The Queen's eyes burned. You brought this to my world. No, the human said quietly. They were already coming. The armor just told us where. The Queen took a step closer. Then you know how to stop them. It was not a question. The human looked at her for a long moment before answering. Yes, he said, but not the way you expect. Outside the palace, the sky darkened as the first Devourer ships entered orbit. Their presence bent the light around them, casting long shadows across the planet's surface. The first shot came without warning. A beam of black energy slammed into the planetary shield. The shield held. Barely. The impact shook the throne chamber. Cracks spread through the crystal walls. Some of the guards lost their balance. Queen Zalith clenched her claws. Fire back, she ordered. The Cathar defense grid responded instantly. Thousands of energy cannons fired upward, filling the sky with blazing light. The Devourer ships did not dodge. They absorbed the fire. The Queen's heart sank. Just like before. Ancient memories surfaced from forbidden records. The Devourers did not fight like normal enemies. They endured. They adapted. They waited until their prey was exhausted. Another blast struck the shield. This time, alarms shifted tone. Shield strength at 70%. The Queen turned back to the human. "Speak," she demanded, "now." The human finally moved. He took one slow step forward. The guards reacted instantly, weapons snapping toward him. The armor reacted too, a faint ripple of energy spreading outward. The guards froze, their weapons locked in place, unable to fire. The human did not look at them. He looked only at the Queen. "You built walls," he said. "They break walls." The Queen's jaw tightened. "Then what do humans build?" she asked. The human placed a hand over the center of his chest, over the glowing core of the armor. "We build answers." The armor flared. Symbols burst into the air around him, ancient shapes the Queen had only seen in half-erased ruins. Systems awakened. Long-dead machines across the planet stirred. Deep beneath the palace, something massive powered on for the first time in thousands of years. The Queen's eyes widened. "That technology was sealed," she whispered. The human nodded. "Yes," he said, "we unsealed it." Another devourer blast struck. The planetary shield shattered. The sky cracked open like glass. Panic spread across the city. Queen Zalith felt the weight of her empire slipping away. "Why help us?" she asked suddenly. The human looked at the burning sky. "Because if they win here," he said, "they won't stop." The devourer ships descended lower, their weapons opening like dark flowers. Then something unexpected happened. The human raised his hand. The armor responded instantly. A wave of energy surged outward, not violent, not destructive, but precise. Across the planet, ancient defense platforms rose from beneath oceans, deserts, and mountains. Structures older than the Cathar Empire emerged, hidden by time and forgotten by fear. They locked onto the devourer fleet. The Queen stared in shock. "These weapons," she whispered, "they were legends." "They were unfinished," the human corrected. "We finished them." The platforms fired. Not beams. Not missiles. Signals. The devourer ships shuddered. One by one, their weapons powered down. Their shields collapsed. Confusion rippled through the enemy formation. The Queen leaned forward. "What did you do?" The human's voice was calm. "We didn't attack them," he said. "We spoke their language." The armor pulsed again. Across the devourer fleet, systems failed in perfect order. Engines stalled. Navigation collapsed. Entire ships drifted, powerless. The devourers had never expected this. They had never faced a species that listened instead of feared. A new signal appeared on the tactical display. Incoming warp signatures. Dozens of them. The Queen's heart tightened. More enemies. Then she saw the shapes. Human ships. They were smaller than Cathar warships, cleaner, simpler, no sharp edges, no threatening designs. They arrived quietly, forming lines. Perfect spacing. No wasted movement. A message broadcast across all frequencies. One sentence. "This ends now." The devourer fleet tried to respond. They couldn't. Human ships moved in, not firing but connecting. Boarding drones attached. Control systems were overridden with terrifying ease. Within minutes, the devourer fleet was silent. Disabled. Alive. The Queen could hardly breathe. The war that once destroyed civilizations had ended, without a single planet cracking. She turned slowly to the human. "What are you?" she asked. The human looked tired now. The armor dimmed slightly, settling. "We're humans," he said. "We don't erase threats, we understand them." The Queen stepped forward. Slowly. Then, to the shock of every guard and general, Queen Zalith lowered herself. She knelt, not in surrender, in respect. Her voice was quiet. "The Ancient Ones trusted you," she said. The human nodded. "They asked us to watch," he replied, "to repair, to wait." The Queen looked up. "And now?" The human looked toward the stars. "Now the galaxy knows," he said. "If something breaks, we will fix it." The alarms faded. The sky began to clear. The devourers were gone. And the age of fear ended. And